Welcome to episode 54 of Lifestory, brought to you by the Living Memory Association, based at the Wee Museum of Memory in Leith, Edinburgh. Today we're joined by Akbal Singh and Jagdish Kaur, a wonderful married couple who take us on an epic journey from 1940s Punjab to 2020s Edinburgh. It's a story of love, family and working very hard. Back in time we go. Akbal and Jagdish, a very warm welcome to Lifestory, and we'll start the way we always do. Firstly, if you don't mind revealing your age, Akbal, you first. Can you tell me a little bit about how old you are and where you were born?
I'm 76 and I was born in Punjab, Pagwara, near Lothian.
Okay, and Jagdish?
I was born in West Bengal, Calcutta, near Calcutta, Burdwan. I was born in West Bengal.
In what year were you born?
1952.
And what year were you born in, Akbal?
1949.
Okay, and can you tell me a little bit about your parents? You first, Akbal.
My parents were from Pakistan, Lahore, and when the partition happened, they got moved out of Pakistan and had to come to Ludhiana, which was their house. We still have the house in Ludhiana, and that's from Ludhiana.
Where is that about, sorry?
In Punjab.
Right, okay.
And then my dad came over in 1943 with his brothers, and they came by boat, and it took them 3 months to get here. And then they made some money and that, and they used to send money back to India, and then finally they had enough money to get us all over here. In those olden days, it was quite easy to get people over from India and that,
And where did they settle?
We settled in Edinburgh.
Right, so straight away, you were straight away
in St. Mary's Street, number 60 St. Mary's Street.
Okay. And Jagdish, your parents, what was their story?
My parents from Punjab, Amritsar, and from Pakistan they also moved as well when the partition happened. And then my dad and my granddad, everybody, grandmother, they decided to go to Calcutta. Near Calcutta is Burdwan. Their relations stayed there. They wanted them over. My dad went with his family. And then my dad got married to my mum. She was also in Burdwan. And then after 3 or 4 years, I was born. And that's it.
Okay. And we touched on this just before the recording, but did you have much contact with your grandparents? Do you have fond memories of grandparents in the house?
Yes, very much. Grandparents. My dad used to come to England. They used to in England, based in England. And my dad also came here first and used to send money, as my husband just said, and then looking after the family and his own mum and dad, everybody. We were like one family staying together, and my granddad and my grandmother looked after us like their own children, because in our culture it's a big responsibility for grandparents to bring their children along with their own, like their mum and dad, their own children. And the son's children they look after, even daughters' children look after, give them good education, good the girls, especially to girls, cooking is our first thing in our life, because those days women didn't go out to work. The men went out to work, but the women was supposed to looking after the house, the children, cleaning, cooking. Those days nobody could afford a cleaner. Nobody knew what cleaner was. They used to do all work themselves, healthy foods, cooking, looking after children. And of course in the weddings they used to have good fun, all night singing songs and lovely weddings and things. That was life. We were not allowed to work those days. Women wasn't allowed to work at all. And they weren't allowed to work at all in India, but when we came here, my husband bought a business after he's done his first Sikh on the buses, and then we helped, all the family helped in the shop.
And can you remember when you were learning to cook, what would be the first thing that your mother or your grandmother would pass on to you? What was the basics that would start with?
Basic is all day, like, and they teach you with how to make your tea, how to make your roti, sabji, dal, and raitas, just what we eat each day, how to make the masala, how to cook the onions, what color they should be, what color the masales and things should go in, how long you've got to cook for, and then put water in little bit. We don't put water in the vegetables but we do put water in the meat, but you got it cook for a long time to get it lovely aroma, lovely smell, and nice. So that we need to teach our girls how to cook before they now they go to work, and education more now. Everybody, like my granddaughter, she's doing pharmacy just now. She's got 2 years left, and we're happy, but we still teach her. I still teach her how to cook, how to do this, and you got to do this, and got to do that. And touch wood, the kids are so very, very nice and sensible. They do listen, and I don't leave it to my daughter-in-law, because she got her own work to do, and she's family to look after and everything. But I help her, and they appreciate. And the kids are so like, as they go to work, when they come home, I phone at the end. If it's a bad weather, I'm very worried, and I'm so happy when they're in. I phone them, are you okay? If you're wet, I would say, go hot shower, put your clothes, hot milk at night, this and that. You know, as always, as a mother and grandmother, is the same thing. We look after our children, and any other children, we would say the same. I always, young girls in my Sikh temple, I gave them lesson for 1 year to how to cook, because it's very important when they go to their husband's house. They have to know what they're doing. The first day, the in-laws say, could you make some, there's a special thing, is a khichdi, sira, you have to make. That's for a welcome. She's going to give it to everybody to serve.
Yeah.
And that's how they see, oh, she's very sensible, very good. And everybody should know how to do it.
And do you think possibly the way that society's changing, that women are going out to work more, is there a possibility that maybe it's moving to a model where the grandmother teaches the kids how to cook? Is that starting to happen?
Yeah, that's what my wife's saying.
I'm just saying, that's my role is.
Yeah.
I teach my grandchildren, and I teach everybody in the temple, the young girls. As I've done a class in the temple, I used to cook, but little. They want me to come back again. I will actually, and that's what I do. I love telling the recipes.
Even myself, I teaching my grandchildren driving and that, you know.
Yeah.
And make sure they're safe in that. And if they're getting off the bus, I'll go and pick them up from the station or the railway station, you know.
Yeah.
I'll make sure they're home safely, like, you know.
My granddaughter's university in Glasgow, so we put her on the train, we go and pick her up, and it's just a responsibility to keep them safe, and like when they're home, our worries goes away then, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's very important.
Yeah. So Akbal, what are your earliest memories from when you were a wee boy?
When I first came over from India.
No, I just mean even when you were a wee boy, you know, when you were 4 or 5 playing.
Oh, when I was 4 or 5, I was in Punjab, India. I used to go to school in a Punjabi school, like, you know. But I don't think I learned very much. We used to mess about too much in India, you know. There wasn't too much command that you must do this, you must do that, you know. When you're young, like, you know, when you're 5, 6 year old.
And what would playing be then if you were out with your outside of school? What would you be playing with
in
your pals?
India or here?
Yeah. I just mean, so for instance, I've had a lot of interviews about childhoods in Leith, and they're like playing football in the street, they're playing cricket in the street,
that's
they're
what we
playing
did.
Kirby, things like that.
We made our own toys, you know. You remember the old prams with the big wheels?
Yeah.
Well, we used to find them in streets and that, and we used to make gliders out of them. Made a board on top of them and put string at the front, and that's our playing, you know.
Yeah.
And we used to make our own bow and arrows, or go up to Calton Hill and put a rope round and do a Tarzan thing, you know. It was so, like, it was fun. Every day we used to go out. Nowadays you don't get kids going out to play in the streets. They're all on the computers or the phones and in their rooms. In the olden days, but as soon as you come back from school, you got a jam and butter, and that's it, you out to play until it gets dark.
Yeah, that is a big change. That whole being out to play the whole day until your tea time.
And you know, it was safe in those olden days. Not nowadays. It's not safe out there now.
Yeah. So who were your earliest pals? Can you remember the names of any pals?
Yeah, I remember a lot of pals. You know, like David Noble, George Cheeslow, Davy McIntyre, Linda McIntyre, his sister.
Are you still in touch with any of these
no,
guys?
No, unfortunately, I've not been in touch with a lot of people. James, Jimmy Clark, his name was, Brian Kagur. I've lost in touch with a lot of people. In fact, most of the people,
But they're still in your memory, so
yes,
that's nice.
And I would like to, if they were listening to this and if they've seen my TikTok, I wish they would get in touch with me.
Yeah.
That'd be lovely.
I'd be lovely to get united with everybody. Well, no, everybody. If everybody's if anybody wants to get in touch with me, especially Davy Noble,
They're most
which
welcome.
he was my guardian angel when I was growing up in Edinburgh. Because when I went to school, in primary school, that was in Milton House in the Canongate, I used to get bullied a lot, get picked on, swore at, called all the names under the sun, and my turban knocked off. It was never a day went that I was never in front of the headmaster or the teachers, for fighting back, because I didn't want people to knock my turban over. And even when I went to secondary school, I used to get bullied and called names and swore at me, and all that,
Had your parents prepared you in any way for that kind of racism that you ended up facing? Before you went to school, or did it come as just totally shocking?
No, it just come as a surprise, total surprise, because our parents didn't speak much English,
Yeah.
And we were thrown in a deep end, so if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And we used to depend on people like older people to guide us, but they were never there to guide you,
Yeah. And was Davy Noble looking out for you from day one, basically?
Yeah, from day one.
Yeah.
Even in primary school and secondary school. And George
Because
Cheeslow was a good friend of mine as well. I used to go out to the pubs and that, with him, and play darts. And
After you left school.
left. After school, I left school. No one else young.
And
Maybe my husband didn't want it to bring all the trouble and tell his parents. He sorted it out there.
Yeah.
And then, as my husband just said, one of his friends used to help him. And Kaur all sorted as well.
Yeah.
So look, now, because of the turban, people used to touch us very, we were very proud of being Sikhs. And we're very happy. And my husband didn't like anybody touching his turban or anything. But now look how much achievement he's done with the Sikh, first Sikh on the buses, and we're very proud of him.
And did you face racism at school as well, then, in that way?
No, I didn't face races. We were very, very friendly. Everybody was so, teachers, friends, everybody was so lovely there, and they were so happy to see. It was only few Indians, few Indians.
You stay with your scarf.
And they were only few, and my father used to teach us English, and my father used to go to visit headmasters and things, how my daughter's getting on and that. They used to say, very nice, they're very sensible, very, very polite girls. I used to wear my scarf, as I'm so happy with my husband with turban. I will wear scarf with my suit. Is our 3-piece, our like we always wear up on Sikhni wears chunni and Sikh wears turban, and we always cover our head all the time, front of elders, and all the time is good. And the headmaster said, no, Jagdish, you have to take this at cloakroom, and you can't do this in the school. I said, no, Mrs. Pennell, I think her name was, and she said, no, we can't have you this on. And I says, I can't take it off, because I wore all my life, all the time I grown up and going to school, and that little scarf on my gull. Never used to maybe wear on my head, but it was always there in my, like a scarf.
Around the neck.
No. And she goes, we're worried in case somebody comes along and pulls it, and it's dangerous and all that. And I says, no. And then they had to call my dad to say she doesn't agree with taking her scarf away. And my dad says, I know my daughters always have a wee scarf on. It's our culture, and it's good. It's nice to do it. And then as she says, okay, and he says, you need to sign this paper or something. And she had a deeply talk with my dad. Says nothing will happen. They're fine. They know how to handle themselves, and I'm very happy to have her scarf on. Is fine.
Yeah. So and what school was that you were at?
School was it was a Roundy Road in Roseville School, Roundy Road in
Leeds.
Right.
Leeds.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, what are, to both of you, what are your first memories of coming to the UK then? What struck you about it first?
Memories, when we came over and it was snowing, it all snowed, and when we seen I says, oh my God, what's this? And snow.
Yeah.
And we didn't see because India is so hot, and but then my daddy bought us lovely hat. The coats were lovely with the little wood things, buttons, and I still remember them, and scarves, and looking after us.
I remember when I came from India and we landed in Edinburgh and we were going down the high street and the snow was right up to my knees, and I thought, where are the? What is this? You can. It was so amazing,
But it was lovely. It was
and
beautiful.
we used to stay in a flat in St May Street, and there was no shower or anything in the flat, just the toilet. And we used to go to the infirmary baths every week, for us.
And they had a big tub in the house.
Well, we had a tub, a metal tub, we used to have
a wash
bath.
and all that.
Yeah.
And
Was there already a Sikh community?
No. We were the first Sikh family in Edinburgh.
In Edinburgh, yeah. But so in Leeds, was there a community
Yes,
that existed?
my
You
aunties
felt?
and
Yeah.
uncles.
Yeah.
My auntie and my uncles, and lots of my dad's friends, Sikh friends.
Yeah.
My dad used to work with.
Did it get easier? More Sikh families coming over?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And my dad had few houses, like 3 or 4 houses. He had them on rent, and he done well. He's done well and looked after us. Got us married, all the daughters, and then I've got 4 sisters and 3 brothers.
I'm a family of 14.
14. Wow.
8 sisters and 6 brothers, including myself.
And do you see the family a lot? Still?
Yes,
all the time.
yes.
They were all here. They were here yesterday.
Yesterday
and the
at
day
the
before,
temple.
Oh, brilliant.
All of them.
Yeah.
From Birmingham, Manchester, and Bristol.
Yeah.
They all came for a respect for my mum and dad's Thanksgiving langar to the Gurdwara Sahib.
So how many times a year will you meet up? Are there how many of those
maybe 2-3 times, weddings, engagements, or whenever they want to visit, they come and welcome, and we look after them like our own daughters.
Yeah.
And in our religion, we done that all the time, and they of course look
every
after us.
occasion, if there's a wedding on or engagement, the brothers and sisters have anything on in Edinburgh, they all come.
They all come together.
Yeah.
And to rewind back a wee bit, Akbal, you obviously had a lot of negative memories of school, but do you have a lot of happy memories as well, or is it mostly a bad time in your head?
Yes.
I don't think I've had that many happy moments, apart from once I left school, I started working in that, I think then I started getting happier, because I think I had more problems in school than at work,
So was there no football team or anything that you got involved in?
Yes, I used to play for a football in school, and I used to play for cricket. Went to swimming as well. I didn't like swimming. I didn't like cricket. I didn't like football. But the teacher made you do that.
It's good exercise.
It was good exercise, but because of my long hair, I didn't like going out swimming. Because I had to wear a hat when I went swimming and that. And cricket, I wasn't very fond of cricket, or I wasn't fond of football, but I had to still play it.
So was it just a relief when you finally left school?
Yeah, it was the best thing I ever think ever happened. Although I could have stayed on school if I wanted to, but I didn't want to. My dad said, no, you need to start working, because he was the only one that used to earn in the whole family.
Because ladies weren't allowed to work.
And I used to get £4.50 a week for a 40-hour shift,
Those days.
Did you see much of your dad growing up then, or was he too busy to? Did you still manage family time? Yeah.
We've seen him every day, all the time. Yeah. He was always in the house when we came back from school and that,
Looking after his children very well.
Yeah.
Dad made sure that we had everything, although it wasn't expensive things, Like we used to get hand-downs as well, not very expensive trainers or jeans or shirts and that,
Yeah.
They all from Woolworths or something,
And that's a good shop, Woolworths.
And growing up, what were your favourite kind of meals that your mum and dad would cook for you? Was there anything you look forward to in particular? I know you've told me about your love of food and how you love a wide range of things, but was there a particular thing that as a kid you would think, if it was served, you'd be delighted?
Well, on the celebration days like Christmas, New Year, and our lot of them, our Diwali, Vaisakhi walk, something. We cook very special things as well. All these days, birthdays, we cook halwa, puri, sabji, lots of nice dahi palle, lots of lovely dishes. But normal dishes are dal, sabji, fulke. Fulke means chapatis, and salad, lot of salad. Healthy food. As long as you got nice homemade food, that's the best thing you could ask for.
My mum was a very good cook as well.
My mother-in-law.
She
lovely
was a very
fish.
good cook.
She used to cook lovely fish.
Yeah. And so would the dads never get involved with the food at all, or would they get fully involved?
They never used to cook or that.
They used to, sometime I remember my father-in-law used to put a lot of pickles, and he used to put sometime meat pickles as well, and nimbu mirchi, adkar means ginger, and chilies and lemons and lovely pickles and things. But then when we came along, we started doing the same things. I do a lot of pickles just now myself, because pickles are healthy as well with your dinner, like your dal, sabji, and meat, or whatever is like kaddu di sabji or toriyan, karele, means the lady's finger.
Yes,
and things, and yogurt, a little pickle. That's a chutney. Make lovely chutneys with a lot, 10, 12 things in it. All those nice things that healthy for your body. I do a lot of things. I also teach yoga, and I do yoga myself as well.
The lady's fingers, I didn't know that it was called okra until until I was really quite old, because my gran and granddad always called it lady's fingers.
In
Lady
my
fingers,
family. My family, they love okra, karelas, separate kaddu, sabji. My children don't like kaddu like my grandchildren, but I sometimes make like muli paronta. I grate it, they don't even, they eat it, then you have to feed them. A lot of iron in it, lot of things in it, and that's good.
There's obviously a lot of cooking in the house, but have you many memories of going out for a meal?
Yes, we do.
In the younger age, no. We never went.
We were so busy with
we never went out for food.
Shop, our business.
We go out now, but when we were growing up, there was no going to restaurants and that,
Yeah.
Because mum and dad, they weren't rich and that, they weren't had made money like that time. No, they weren't well off.
They were fine. And nobody wants to go out when you get beautiful food in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
And when I left school, I started working for Armando Margiotta, he had the fudge house.
Italian
guy.
Yeah, I remember the Margiotta's shop in Edinburgh.
Yeah, but that's a different family. But
right, okay.
The Margiotta that I worked for, he had only one son. His name was Vincent, and he's away up at Perth now. He's got a restaurant.
We're still in touch with him.
Right. But Armando and Phyllis, they've passed away now. But I was a chef in there.
So that was your first job? Was being a chef?
First job.
Yeah.
He looked after my husband like his own son.
Yeah.
So was Margiotta's a restaurant or a shop?
No,
Sorry.
it used to make sweets.
Sweets, right.
It's
fudge
like
house.
a little factory.
Fudge.
Right,
making
okay.
fudge, sweets,
okay.
and
You've probably seen the fudge house of Edinburgh in the Canongate.
Yes.
Which that was part of Armando's shop.
Right, okay. So did he give you, is fudge, is that
He taught me how to make it.
He taught you how to do it,
He
right,
taught me how
okay.
to make it, cut it, pack it, send it off, and then at one time, when I turned about 16, I used to open the shop myself. I used to make the fudge myself, and even hire people work for under me.
All my husband's cousins used to give them jobs as well.
Yeah. Very, very little pay. I mean, as I say, I was getting £4.50 a week for 40 hours.
Yeah.
So it's probably 20 pence an hour.
Yeah, and did your boss give you much in the way of fudge to take home as a treat?
Yes, he didn't mind me taking, but I didn't
send it to my parents.
I used to give it to people myself. I never ate it myself because I think when you see something, when you're making something, you can't eat it.
Yeah,
but
every day.
Everybody in Edinburgh, everybody in relations out in England. My husband used to go and collect me, and Mando used to say, "Take it for your family, the fudge and all that."
Yeah.
Yes.
And how did your work life unfold after that? Where did you go from the
Well,
fudge shop?
when I was growing up after that, like I was turned up at 16, I think, my dad actually decided to go to Birmingham. One of his cousins said to him that business is better there because he's a peddler, door-to-door salesman, and he got all the kids together and he said that we were going to move to Birmingham. What did you suggest? We said, well, whatever you say, we'll go. So we all moved to Birmingham and we stayed there for about 4 years, and my dad didn't like it because his brothers were still here in Edinburgh.
Yeah.
Brothers and sisters. Yes.
And he was on his own in Birmingham, but he had other friends and all that, but he wasn't very happy. So I used to work there as well in Birmingham. I worked in a steel factory. I used to do chrome polishing and everything. I never stopped working. I've worked all since I was about 12-year-old. And we came back again in 1969, just before my wedding, about a month before my wedding, and then we got married, me and my wife. My wife's from Leeds. We went from here to Leeds to Chapeltown, and that's where our ceremony was held,
And how does if you don't mind me asking this, you don't have to answer this, but how does the arranged marriage process actually work?
Well, it's worked for us.
No, I don't mean how does it work. It's a very good answer. I just mean that how are you put together? How is it decided?
What happened is one of my aunties, she was married in Leeds, from Leeds to my uncle, and she knew my wife and she knew me, and she approached my dad and mum to say that I've got a nice girl for your...
She's my cousin.
Yeah.
My
Second
dad's
cousin.
sisters.
Yeah, second cousin.
Dad's sisters.
So this is how they work. The families get together and they talk about it. They say that I've got a nice girl or I've got a nice boy, for your son. And I didn't see my wife and she never seen me.
No.
Even before we got engaged.
My sister-in-law, Badi Penji, my sister-in-law went to visit her uncle and auntie, and I came with some, as cooking again. My mum made something and she goes, go and give it to my cousin sister. We Pyaran jaake diya. She made some sabji and she says, give it to. And I went there and says, here sister, that's your mummy sent you sabji. And she seen me. And she came home and she goes, I've seen a girl. Well, I'm not saying no more. She says, we must get engaged to my husband. She goes, we'll get engaged to Akbal. And my mum-in-law said, okay. And she phoned that same, after 2-3, it wasn't phones then. She wrote a letter to my cousin that please see into it. And it took her 2 years to get me engaged because my dad didn't agree. He didn't agree. He says too far, and my daughter is still young. And
we were very young when we got engaged.
Yeah. So how old were you when you got engaged?
And then
I was actually 14-year-old, and my wife was only maybe 12.
He was worried about Scotland. It's so far, and my daughter's going to go there, and it's a big family, of course. Touchwood, Suknal was a big family. And he was worried, like all fathers,
Yeah.
And he was lovely, my dad. And then my mum said to him, look, she always comes. My dad used to do night shifts, and my dad used to wake up and she used to see her in the garden and used to say, oh, she's here again, to say to my dad, please uncle, Mama ji, please get this to do it for me, because they keep putting letters and things. And anyway, one day my mum says, look, the lovely family, and it's okay, she's not far, we'll do it. And then they done my engagement.
So that just must be an extraordinary moment when you see the person that you're going to spend the rest of your life with for the first time.
Even at my marriage ceremony in Chapeltown, I didn't see my wife. She had a veil over her head.
Right.
And we got married, and we came home that night. And then in our culture, the women go back to their parents for a little while.
One day we come and we do the celebration and that. And then
but even then, I've never seen my wife,
After 6 weeks, you see me.
So they took her away for to Leeds.
But
You know,
this-
it's only supposed to be 1 or 2 weeks, but
My mum wanted
But
to keep
she
me
wanted to
6
keep,
6
you know.
weeks. She kept
Yeah.
me, my mum
so
and dad.
I mean, even my friends, like, you know, they said, "You got married? Where's your wife? You know, we've not seen your wife. You know." And I used to say, "I'm going to go and get her. I'm going to go and get her." And I kept on pestering my mum, to say that, "When you going to bring my wife?" You know,
Yeah.
because we done what we were told by the parents. We
And
weren't-
that's very,
that's-
very, honestly, I hats up to the parents and the children that they used to listen to the parents. You know?
And you obviously look very happy together now.
Yes,
I mean,
yeah.
was there an immediate rapport when you got together, when
How
you
do you
finally
mean?
met your wife? I mean, did you immediately get on, or did it take a while to get to know
No,
each
we
other?
were fine.
Yeah, we got on very well.
Very well,
right away.
very well. Plus,
And she got on with my brothers and sisters
because
as well.
I used to do same in my house. My mum, as I said earlier, my mum responsibility to teach everything.
Yeah.
And I could cook everything. I could do everything. I done even my husband's sister and brothers were very small.
Yeah.
One was 6 months, year and a half, 3 years, 4 years, 6,
Aye.
like that.
Big family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we got on with it. We never ever said, "Oh God, why I'm doing this for?"
Aye.
Never. Happily we've done it.
Yeah.
And then, you know, God is always there. Now, touch wood, we're happily married. And,
And even when I used to go to Leeds, my dad used to say, "Let's go in the living room." No.
my mum is
My mother-in-law used to say, "No, you're sitting with us here in the kitchen, like it's like
in the
a
dining area.
dining area."
Because we used to have 2 areas, 2
And
rooms.
he used to say, "No, we'll sit in the living room. Me and you will have a wee drink, like, you know." And I said, my mother-in-law used to say, "No, you're sitting here with. He's like my
She
son."
used to love my husband. She used to really.
I got on well.
She used to
with
say
my
he's a very, very,
mother-in-law
very
and my
nice
father-in-law and the
Very nice
brothers and
son-in-law.
sisters.
She always called him son, and she was very nice, and she always
Unfortunately,
said,
my
"Your
dad,
husband's so nice."
my father-in-law never drove, right, you know, and I used to drive, and when I used to go to Leeds, I used to take her to the market in the car, and she says, "Oh,
My,
this
my
is-
dad always never
took a driving lesson."
My brothers and my sisters, all our sisters, brothers drive now, but my dad was so.
they were too young then, you know.
Yeah.
He
when we
never
got married.
tried. He should have tried.
My grandmother, I was brought up by my grandparents, and my gran passed her driving test, drove from the driving test centre back home and never drove again.
Oh
'Cause
my
my
God.
granddad was the driver in the family, so he just
Oh.
always drove. So that was the only time
That's
she
what
just
really
wanted to
happened
do
to
it.
my
She just
dad.
wanted to pass.
He was
And did she
nervous.
pass?
Yeah, she passed,
But she never drove.
never apart from the driving test centre
Oh.
back to the house. That
Oh
was all.
dear, I've been driving for nearly 50 years now,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and a first Sikh driver
Yeah.
in Edinburgh. I still
My dad actually said to me when I used to teach
I
my
wasn't
wife,
allowed to drive though.
what you doing?
I drove on the sly.
what you doing teaching your wife, you need to stop this because she has to take a veil.
do
And
veils,
then we stopped it for a few months, and then I used to take her out private,
Private.
like in different roads, like, you know, and then she passed her test.
You know how many people in Edinburgh, they gave me so much blessing because every Tuesday and Wednesday and all the days,
Yeah,
the people
whenever
are
you go
standing
to
on the bus stop or where's my
temple,
car to
aye.
pick them up and take them. And it's a big thing. Like, I mean, these days, you know, who's going to door to door, you're dropping everybody off. But I think my God gave me, this is the thing I
It's a
enjoy
gift.
doing it.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. Sometimes people say, "Oh, just drop me off around the corner. I'll walk." I wouldn't do that. I'll take them. Because God gave me some knowledge. I like to help people out. And that's
There's a lot of, from the TikTok video that you did for us, Akbal, you know, there's so much in the comments about the kindness of Sikhs and the Sikh
some
religion.
of
and
some of my friends, they say you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't. And I says no, it's okay, whatever. They say, "Oh, I told you first to drop me off. Now you got the ladies in the
Right.
car." I said, "I'm
So-
so sorry." One of the ladies says, "Put her in the boot."
So coming back to my story,
Yeah.
when I turned 19, I got married, and we were married for 2 years. And I said to my boss, "Hey, listen, I need a raise." And Mando said, "No, I can't afford it."
Yeah, and so are we still in Birmingham at this point? Or
No,
back in
this is
Edinburgh?
back to Edinburgh.
Yeah.
In 1969, we came back.
Okay.
Then I got married.
in Edinburgh.
So anyway, after 2 years, I was still working with Armando, and I think I used to get about £8 or something, £9, you know. And I said to him, "Listen, I've got a child now and my wife, and I need to get more money. He says, I can't afford it. So that's when I applied for the buses in 71. And Armando was okay with that. You know, he says, okay, if you want to do something else, it's up to you. So I applied for the buses, and when I got knocked back, it was a few months after that, I got the job, and then I told him that I'm going to leave now. He was quite happy with that, you know, that it was getting...
Yeah.
And then when I used to work on the buses, still done about 40 hours shift, but my wages went up to about 17, 18 pound a week. But it was still hard work, 40 hours doing a bus driving with no power steering and double clutch, you know. It wasn't nothing like automatic, you know, in these days, you know. But I enjoyed my work. I had a lovely time. 10 years I worked for the buses.
But not everyone who listens to this will have seen the video, so would you mind just giving us the story of your battle to be allowed to wear your turban?
Oh, the battle buses. Again, right, okay. What happened is, when I went to 14 Queen Street, they said to me, what is you want? I said, I need a job. He says, well, no, we can't give you a job. You need to go and get a haircut and a shave. And I said, but why? He says, well, you have to wear the cap. I said, well, I'm not allowed to wear a cap. I'm wearing a turban. So when I went back to my priest, the committee members and that, you know, told, my dad was there as well, and one of the uncles and that was there. They said that this is wrong, they shouldn't have done that, you know. So what we need to do is we need to take them to the tribunal, we need to take them to court. So we took them to court at the chambers, and they called me up, and members of the community, members of the Sikh temple went with me as well. But they weren't allowed to go inside the chambers, they were only allowed to go outside. So when I went in front of the judges, they asked me, why should we give you a job? I said, well, when our soldiers, Sikh soldiers, went to war for you guys, what did they wear, helmets or turbans? I said, turbans. And I said, well, that's it, you know. Everybody started laughing, you know, said, that's a good question, you know. And then they turned around and said, we want to know how you tie your turban and how many yards is it, like, is it long? I said, it's 5 yards long. And then I showed them how to tie the turban, and then they asked me if, what colour would you like? I said, maroon, to go with the uniform and a maroon tie. And they said, okay, we'll go ahead with this, you know.
And then you did was it 2 weeks as a conductor first?
As a conductor, yeah. They told me that I have to do conducting first to get the environment of everything, you know. And then after that, I passed my test, the buses. I failed it the first time, and the guy said to me, you'll have to get called back in maybe a month or so. And that same weekend, the guy phoned me back and he said, we need you back on Monday to do the test. And when I done the test again, it was fine, passed it first time, second time. You know.
And how did you find working on the buses? Were people friendly for the
Very,
most part,
very friendly. I had a lot of friends in the buses, like, you know. A lot of people used to take photos of me on the Princess Street, you know, when I was driving along the Princess Street. Visitors come from all over the world and that, you know. And there was a guy in the actual depot. He used to work for the buses as well in Leith. Jack Kane, his name was, and he used to be very racist with me. He used to call me names and that. He used to go to the inspector and say, how's he allowed to wear a turban if I'm not allowed to wear my tammy? And they used to tell him that, no, you can't wear the turban. He's got to wear the turban for the Sikh religion, but he didn't understand this. He kept on saying, I want to wear my tammy, but they weren't allowed to wear a tammy. They had caps. Proper caps with the badge on the front, you know. And I used to wear the badge on the front of my turban as well, you know. So that was part of the uniform.
And did your route change on the bus?
I drove for a lot of routes. You have to do everything, you know, like all over Edinburgh, like, you know.
Yeah. And did you have folk you would see who came on the buses regularly?
Oh, regularly, yes, a lot of times, you know. There was one or two times when my conductor, George Irvin his name was, sorry, and he was my conductor, and he had a wee bit of hassle with one or two of the customers, and I just jumped out of the cab and I went into the back of it because, you know, there was open buses. Yeah. And I used to jump in and say, what's going on here? Why are you not giving them a fare, like, you know? And then they used to sit down and give them the fare, like, you know, because sometimes people used to say, no, I'm not giving you a ticket, go get lost, like, you know.
I suppose with the back of the bus being open, folk could jump on and then try and jump off again before they paid their money. Yeah. And so you did that for 10 years?
10 years.
So what was your next job after being on the buses?
What happened is I had enough money, and one of my cousins, he said, there's a shop up for sale in Wardlaw Place, and the guy is a Hindu. he wants to sell it for £10,500. And I says, okay, I'm going to go for it. But before that, I was going to try and buy a house because the income was coming, like, you know, from the buses. Because I only had a 1-bedroom flat in Balfour Street, and I was looking for a house, bigger house, so as I could move out, because I had 2 girls and my wife and myself, you know, and it was getting too tight for us, the house. And I phoned one of my cousins who had a business already. I says to him, what do you think, you know, shall I buy a shop or shall I buy a house first? Because when you got a house, you had to show what your income was coming in for the loan and that, you know, and that I could have got a loan for that house. My cousin said to me, no, get a shop first, the house could come after. So what I done, that's what I done. I bought a shop, and we made, my wife helped me out, my kids helped me out, you know, in the Warlow place. And then after 4 years, we managed to get a bigger shop in Longstone, and that's it was like a big supermarket sort of mini market, you know.
And did you take to that work straight away? Were you comfortable? Were you happy in the shop after being on the buses?
Yeah. What happened is I was working, while I was working the buses, I still worked back shift. My wife was running it, 6 months. 6 months. My wife's still running the shop. And I used to go open the shop in the morning, but it was getting too much for me, because I opened the shop at 6 o'clock and I was working till 12 o'clock on the buses. And once or twice I was falling asleep on the steering. And I thought I better leave this job, like, you know. So I left the job, and then I started doing the shop myself, and my wife helped as well.
25 years we done the business together.
Wow.
It was good old days. The business was good, but there was no holidays when you had the shop. We couldn't go anywhere.
We used to go.
We couldn't go any parties. We couldn't go any parties. If we did go to parties, we were always last there and first out, because I knew I had to open the shop in the morning at 6 o'clock. You know, I used to do about 80 odd hours a week in the shop, like, you know. It's a long hours.
My husband used to do the mornings, and I used to do the afternoons.
I suppose that'd be the days before these giant supermarkets started popping up all over.
There was
the
no
place.
supermarkets then. And then Safeway opened up, and then Asda opened up, and that's when we started getting quieter.
Could you see an immediate hit to the business?
A lot of it, because people used to come in with big shops and that, shopping and that, and shopping bags and that, and they used to come in for a pack of cigarettes or a chewing gum and that, you know.
Paper shop, it was a paper.
It was a newsagent, like, you know.
It was okay, it was good. People who wanted to buy, they had to buy. And the people wanted to go to stores. I mean, they will want to save some money to go to stores.
So we had to give it up, like, in 2000.
We done well.
We done well.
Years.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
We married 4 kids, like, you know. Good weddings. We had big weddings, like, you know. 2 girls.
So after the shop, did you retire after that? Are you still going? What?
No, what happened is I retired and I got
charity work.
I done with the Lothian Community Transport Services, a minibus, you know. I was doing voluntary work, and then we decided that this is no good. Like, I was only getting, I think it was £800 a month, you know. It was very, very low pay. And then I left that and I started working for Asda at the Jewel.
Photoshop.
In the Photoshop, we were developing photos there, like, you know, and done well there, like, you know. Good money in there.
Went for courses in London. Did you go to London?
I had to go to London for a course to do the photo developing and that, you know. So retired 2 or 3 times. Not just once. I retired from the Asda as well. I retired from the Lothian.
Retired from the Lothian buses for the elder people. You pick buses. And then my husband and the Milan is an Indian charity group. Milan he used to do the volunteer for 3-4 years, you know, and drop them off, pick them up house to house, and my mother-in-law, his aunties. That's a big role. He used to go and drop them off home, and they were so happy that our son is doing charity work as well.
But there was a time when for about 6 months I done full voluntary work. I didn't get no money at all for Milan. I used to go and feed this old chap, Pakistani guy in Milan at lunchtime, and then I used to drop him home to his home, like, you know. So that was like, it was like a charity work, like, you know.
I suppose it must be quite difficult if you've worked as hard as you have throughout your life to suddenly be retired. I mean,
well, that's why I get bored so easy, like, you know. And that's why when I left the buses, I left the Asda, left everything, the shop and everything, I retired again. And one of my friends said to me, "What are you doing nowadays?" I said, "Nothing. This is about 15 years now." He says to me, "No, you need to start the taxis." I said, No, I couldn't do the taxis.
I wouldn't let him do it, honestly.
Right.
It was a big problem in my house. I wouldn't let him do it. But my husband just done it without me. I don't know. I was saying, "No, you're not going to do it." And really annoyed and everything. Wish his mum was alive or dad. I would have told them, like, they probably would have stopped him, but he didn't stop by me. But he done it. But I'm happy because he does his taxis. He done everything. I've got my own car. I'm driving 50 years on my own. Like, when sometimes it's like I don't know what you say. It's like a wee holiday when we go to weddings together in the car. I can't believe it. I'm sitting with my husband. He's driving.
Chauffeur driven. Anyway, I'm now a taxi driver.
So you're still going? You're still
yes,
working?
I'm still working.
Yeah.
I used to do 6-7 days sometimes. Now I do 2 days a week.
Right. And is that black cabs or Uber?
No,
it's
private hire.
cars.
Private hire cabs.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, private.
I work for Capital Cars.
I really got to, I listen to you, you've done it.
I enjoy it.
Now you need to,
I
my grandchildren, my children, all, my son, everybody says, "You just leave it now, Dad."
No.
But Dad just want to carry on, he loves his customers and he loves...
Yeah.
How many? What's the kind of split of how many of your customers, your passengers, fancy a chat, and how many want to just sit in silence?
Every one of them.
Everyone? Really?
Every
Wow.
one of them. Not a single person comes in my cab
Really?
and asks me, "Oh, lovely colour turban you've got on," or there's something, or they tell their story if they've had the problems with their kids or something. There's always a chat. And like if I go to the airport, you always get people from abroad, and they always ask, where's the best place to eat? What's the tourist attractions and that? And I know, like Edinburgh, like the back of my hand, I tell them you need to go to see the castle, the Parliament Palace, Holyrood Palace. You need to go to see the Greyfriars Bobby. You need to go to Botanical Gardens, National Museum, art galleries, and they love it,
Yeah.
I've even had customers saying to me, "I want to go up north, is there any chance you seen if anybody can take me?" I said, "I can take you up to north." I've been to Inverness, Birmingham, I've even been Manchester as well. I've been to.
One day my husband went to Manchester and I didn't know nothing about it. And then he went to my daughter's house.
Yeah.
And my daughter says, "Hi Mom, what are you doing?" This and that and all. She goes, "You want to speak to somebody I know you want to speak to?" I says, "Who?" "Let me have a kick at me." And I says, "Sasikar," and he spoke, "Akbal and Jagdish." I says, "Where are you?" "In Manchester." "Oh." And she goes, "I went to get Dad's sleeping suit, I went to get Dad's brush, all that." I said, "Oh my God."
It was just an off chance that the guys that were going to the railway station from Morningside.
He was getting late for his airport.
No,
wasn't he?
they would have missed the train.
The flight.
No,
Right.
they were going by train to
Okay.
Manchester. Then they were going to get the flight in the morning from Manchester. And I said, "There's no chance of me getting to the railway station from Morningside at 5:30 in the evening. Train was 6 o'clock. I said, it would have taken me a lot longer than that to get to the... So I said, from here, I could take you to Manchester, take me 4 hours. But if I take you to the railway station, it's going to take me an hour there, then an hour back again. That's another 2 hours. If you miss the train, it's up to you." So I managed to get them to Manchester, and then they got that flight in the morning.
So when will you ever stop, Akbal?
I don't think I'm going to stop. I don't think I'm going to stop because I enjoy getting out. I enjoy keeping in touch with people, and it keeps my mind active.
Yeah, it's
as
good
well.
for the brain, isn't it? The chat.
Because I've heard a lot of people retiring and just sitting in the house, or they go to the pub every morning and evening and everything, and I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
There's no way I could do that.
I wouldn't let him do that.
No, it doesn't. It's not need my wife to tell me that. I have never, even when I'm sitting in the house like 5 days, I do my own gardening. I wash windows and that. Try and give the wife a hand in the house. Preparation for the food and everything.
Yeah.
I would never even in the house. I wouldn't go and have a drink in the afternoon or anything, you know.
Only at night.
Yeah. Have you never been a pub guy?
No, I'm not. I've never been.
Very best snooker player.
Yeah, I play snooker and I play pool as well. I'm very good at pool and that, you know.
Yeah. And you were saying the darts was part of your
Darts
life
was
for a while.
oh, we used to love darts every day. I used to have my own darts.
In our own house.
I had a dartboard in the house, you know.
He made it himself, my husband. A lovely box with a dart in it. Nice.
Yeah, it's a good game.
It's
of
very
darts. I
handy,
like the
my
darts.
husband.
It's good. It's good for the brain, you know. The counting, deducting, and adding is very good for your brain.
Only one thing, you can't wait when I'm getting ready to get out somewhere and hurry up. That's what I don't like.
I get very impatient, like, you know.
Yeah.
Did you ever play in darts teams? Or was it
Yes.
always,
I used to play for the Elm Row Bar, you know.
And what was that every Monday?
Every week.
Every Thursday was. You know,
Right.
used to go to a different pub.
That's right.
And play for the team, like, you know.
And were you guys one of the best teams in the league, or?
Yeah, we were.
Yeah. And how would it work? Would you have seedings, or would you all just play in the? Would
No,
you play
no.
against one of their guys? And
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. And the darts still going, or have you retired from the
No,
darts?
I don't play darts at all now.
My sons, they also play snooker and they used to go and watch
Yeah.
I don't play any. I used to play for the pool team as well, Gladstone's pub in Leith Walk, and I don't play pool. Well, I played now and then, like, but not for a team now. Too much.
I think we're almost up to the present date. I've always got a few questions that I finish with.
Yeah.
Do you have any regrets, the pair of you?
Sometimes every husband and wife, they do. That's love as well. I mean, if he's saying anything wrong to his brother or sisters or something, I always butt in and fight for them. I shouldn't have, but I do. I says, no, they're okay, this and that, doesn't matter. Or my brother and sisters as well, I says, let them. They're just leave people. What you are. What you want to do, you do. It's just let it go. Just leave it. I never let my husband.
All my brothers and sisters, they are quite happy. They're quite happy that I'm still working.
You're working as well.
You know, even my brother-in-laws would say to me, "Don't retire, whatever you do.
Yeah.
Keep going." Like, I mean, I only do 2 days, and I'm quite happy with that. Like, you know.
He wants people to be just like him, like my husband, you know. But sometimes people different way. Or if somebody said something he wouldn't like, he would, tell them off. And I said, just walk away.
I don't like anybody telling lies and that, you know. It's been always against my beliefs that telling lies. If you tell one lie, you have to tell 10 more lies. If you keep the truth is always the main thing.
Always good for you.
And if you tell the truth, you will never go wrong in your life. You know, you won't lose. Nobody will put you down for telling the truth.
Even though my grandsons or my grandchildren come, they're a wee bit late or whatever from work, and he was shouting to my grandson, and I always have to button, no, leave me. No, because
I don't like people telling lies. I don't like people hiding things from me. You know?
No. Because one of my grandsons works, he's a taxi driver. Touchwood, he's touchwood. Sometimes
he's learned everything from me.
Learned from his granddad, and he's very, very Jairaj Singh. He's very, very touchwood, very good boy. And he likes to work a wee bit over, but my husband doesn't like it. He says, come on now, that's enough.
Yeah.
And I said, leave him. So,
you both look very happy together.
Yeah.
Is there anything still left to do that you'd like to do with your lives? Is there any countries you'd like to visit, or things that
countries?
Any
We've
dreams?
visited so many countries.
Dreams left?
Dreams left. Yeah, dreams is always there.
Aye.
Dreams
Anything
left.
in particular?
We're not going to stop travelling. We travel a lot.
I can't wait for my granddaughter to graduation. Because there's another 2 years left for her pharmacy.
Two of my granddaughters from my daughter's side have graduated, but my son's side, my granddaughter's going to graduate in 2 years' time. I'm looking forward to that. And my grandson, that Jairaj, got married this year. We can't wait for him to have a child so we can become great grandchildren.
Grandparents.
And
we are great grandparents.
We're great. We have 13 grandchildren and 7 great grandchildren. We're very happy with that. But the daughter's side, like,
there's a lot of birthday presents to buy.
A lot of birthday presents, a lot of engagements, a lot of weddings.
Touchwood. Well, that's why he's working.
A lot of travelling. Every time we have to go to Birmingham or Manchester, we go, and I drive,
Yeah. So where do you go on holiday apart from going to the family
We've been
trips?
everywhere. We've been
India.
to Kenya, we've been to India, we've been to Paris, Greece, Spain, Holland. We've
Pakistan.
Pakistan as well,
Yatra, Pakistan.
We'll not stop travelling. We'll always travel yet. We've got friends and relatives in India, in Pakistan, in Kolkata, here, and
the
Kenya as well.
Yeah, Kenya. My brother,
Canada as well, Canada,
50 years old, I was going to be. My husband had arranged a big party.
Yeah.
And I said, no, I didn't feel right. I said, I would love to go to Pakistan to see our Guru Nanak Dev ji, where was born. And I want to see the celebration there. And that's it. And then we went, we stopped the party, and I said, that'll be my party, my birthday present. Please, I want to go. So we went there, Pakistan. It was so beautiful.
Yep.
Lovely. We stayed nearly a week.
10 days.
10 days.
10 days was.
It's nice.
Well, it's been lovely speaking to you.
Lovely speaking
and
to you.
I wish
also.
you the best of luck on your next adventures.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much to Akbal and Jagdish for sharing their lives with us. If you've enjoyed this podcast, there are many more on both Apple Podcasts and Spotify. You can find us by searching for the Living Memory Association. If you'd like to come and visit us, we're at the Wee Museum of Memory in Leith, in Ocean Terminal, and we also have a fabulous resourcing reminiscence unit, which has a revolving series of exhibitions. So do come and see us soon, and perhaps share your own memories here in our Wee Museum studio. We're also part of Edinburgh Collected. We have over 5,000 photographs of the past that you can look up on that site and search by theme. And if you're on the socials, you can follow us on our TikTok channel at Living Memory Association, on YouTube, search for Living Memory Association, also on Facebook, and on X at Thelma Scotland, on Instagram at Thelma Scotland. Until next time, we bid you farewell.